Hello, USA soccer fans and football fans. Bobby Cardenas coming at you from Lancaster, California. This is Tuesday, August 5th, 2014, the day after the International Champions Cup final between Manchester United and Liverpool. It was a great game. I hope you guys watched it. I hope you enjoyed it. Unfortunately, being a Liverpool fan, I think we almost walked alone because we lost 3-1. But it was a good game. Liverpool was missing Sturridge, a few other key players, but so was Man U. No Van Persie. Wayne Rooney had a great tournament and deserved to be the man of the match and the man of the tournament. Hopefully he will continue with his great form in the season, except when he faces Liverpool, because I want Liverpool to win. I want Brendan Rodgers to take Poole to the Barclays Premier League title. And who knows, the FA Cup. Whatever else he can get his hands on. The players can get their hands on. Okay, yesterday I mentioned that I would discuss a little bit about handling, which is part of Law 12, the fouls and misconduct. I think what I'm going to do is read you exactly what Law 12 says about handling. Yes, I need my reading glasses, unfortunately. Don't need them to see otherwise. I did LASIK years ago. But anyway, so Law 12, in referring to when a direct free kick is awarded, this is what it says about handling. It's already discussed the other free kick occurrences. A direct free kick is also awarded to the opposing team if a player commits any of the following three offenses: holds an opponent, spits at an opponent, handles the ball deliberately, except for the goalkeeper within his own penalty area. That's all this book states, the laws of the game. However, we go to the advice to the referees, correct? 12.9, again, I'm going to read it to you verbatim. Deliberate handling. The offense known as handling the ball involves deliberate contact with the ball by a player's hand or arm, including fingertips, upper arm, or outer shoulder. Deliberate contact means that the player could have avoided the touch but chose not to, that the player's arms were not in a normal playing position at the time, or that the player deliberately continued an initial accidental contact for the purpose of gaining an unfair advantage. Moving hands or arms instinctively to protect the body when suddenly faced with a fast approaching ball does not constitute deliberate contact unless there is subsequent action to direct the ball once contact is made. Likewise, placing hands or arms to protect the body at a free kick or similar restart is not likely to produce an infringement unless there is subsequent action to direct or control the ball. The fact that a player may benefit, this is important, the fact that a player may benefit from the ball contacting the hand does not transform the otherwise accidental event into an infringement. A player infringes the law regarding handling the ball even if direct contact is avoided by holding something in the hand, clothing, shin guard, etc. Why you would ever take your shin guard out of your sock to handle the ball, I have no idea. I've never done it. I've never seen it done. In 18 years of refereeing, I've never even seen somebody take their shirt and do this to go for the ball. But that's what that explains. So anyway, so in a nutshell, okay, deliberate handling. You'll notice there was no mention of that dreaded word, which I absolutely hate, handball, in any of those descriptions. Why? Because it's handling. You are handling the ball illegally. It must be deliberate. The mere fact that the ball has been kicked, headed, chested, whatever, and accidentally strikes you in any part from the fingertips up your arm to where it meets the shoulder, the fact that that ball has struck you in and of itself is not handling, unless after it strikes you, you make a movement now to control the ball to yourself or a fellow player. If that ball strikes you and falls to your feet, but you've made no extra effort to control the ball, it's neither handling and you haven't gained an advantage from it because it wasn't an illegal touch on you by the ball. So, when people are out there on the fields and they're watching the game, the players also, managers, spectators, and the ball during play happens to wham, hits the player here, and they're screaming handball, 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 mano if you're Spanish, mano, Hans if you're Deutschland, from Deutschland. Doesn't mean anything. You as a referee have to decide in your mind, was it an intentional handling of the ball by the player, or did that player gain an advantage after the ball initially struck him accidentally by his movement? It's something that we as referees have to deal with game in and game out, because I don't think I've ever refereed a game where a ball has not struck a player in this part of his body or a player has actually handled the ball. Now, when the ball actually is handled by a player, you should actually caution the player because it's deliberate handling. It's unsporting behavior. It's one of the worst infringements you can do. Now, if a player has handled the ball in the penalty area, it must be a send-off offense. If he's actually deliberately done that, it's a send-off. Especially if it's for saving a goal from going in, or preventing a goal from being scored, the opportunity for a goal to be scored. There's a lot of things that go into send-offs. But in my opinion, if in the penalty area you've handled the ball deliberately, it should be much more than just a caution. It should be a send-off. Ask Luis Suarez from 2010 when he did it against Ghana when he was at Uruguay. But he did it purposely to stop the ball going into the goal. Okay, now, get ready for our U.S. Women's Under-20 team is actually playing today, our national women's, on one of the ESPN channels, ESPN U, I think it's called. It's channel 208 on DirecTV over here at 3:45. Watch the game. And then tomorrow, the MLS All-Star game. But I'll come back and post some stuff maybe later today after the game on what's going on in the news today online with football. Okay, so until then, say no to racism and go USA.